Welcome to Drips News. Stay informed with us online as we delve into today's top stories. Trump's evolving trade strategies, tensions with tech leaders, and the escalating trade war with China. Buckle up, it's going to be an informative ride. The Trump administration's trade strategy faces criticism as officials negotiate with select allies, leaving many countries unclear about the president's demands. A daunting 90-day sprint of talks with over 70 countries occurs amid market turbulence and growing disapproval. Negotiations prioritize strategic partners countering China, like Vietnam, India, South Korea, and Japan. Many countries await the U.S.'s attention, paying high export rates. A Politico survey reveals confusion among key Asian trading partners. Diplomats express uncertainty about the administration's goals, citing a reactive, directionless approach. The focus on Asian countries with ties to China aims to curb illegal shipments, laundering Chinese goods through third countries. Peter Navarro downplays tensions with Elon Musk after Musk publicly criticized him. Despite Musk's harsh words, Navarro claims everything is fine, addressing the spat in interviews about the economy and tariffs. The conflict arose after Navarro questioned Musk's support for reducing trade barriers, emphasizing Tesla's reliance on imported parts. Musk responded with strong criticism on X, but Navarro dismisses the issue, praising Musk's work with the Department of Government Efficiency, focusing on eliminating waste and fraud. This denial comes as the administration navigates differing opinions on trade within its ranks. A segue to the following story about tariffs. President Trump announces upcoming tariffs on imported semiconductors, signaling a shift in trade policy. This move suggests the previous exclusion of smartphones and computers from reciprocal tariffs on China may be temporary. Trump aims to simplify trade and encourage domestic production of chips and semiconductors. While hinting at flexibility, he emphasizes the need to avoid rigidity. A national security trade probe into the semiconductor sector is underway. Despite initial hopes for the tech industry, critical technology products from China, including semiconductors, will face new duties soon, furthering the trade tensions and setting the stage for a deeper dive into the U.S.-China trade war. President Trump faces increasing pressure to de-escalate the trade war with China to prevent severe damage to the U.S. economy. Xi Jinping is resisting U.S. pressure for a deal after the U.S. imposed 145% tariffs, leading to a direct confrontation. Trump assures Americans of his strong relationship with Xi, but the standoff risks market instability and economic hardship. Despite the uncertainty, Trump appears to enjoy the conflict, emphasizing his role as a political fighter. The U.S. and Chinese economies are deeply intertwined, with the U.S. reliant on China for various goods. Tariffs threaten to halt trade, impacting American farmers and consumers alike, highlighting the high stakes of this trade war. The next story will examine the financial markets' reaction to this strategy. Trump aims to secure trade deals by using high tariffs as leverage, but financial markets are skeptical. A 90-day pause on tariffs gives the administration a short window to strike complex agreements with numerous countries. Market volatility has spiked, with stocks fluctuating and other markets signaling doubt about Trump's strategy. Stock market investors remain on edge, reacting strongly to tariff announcements. Clarification on China's 145% tariff caused a significant market plunge, underscoring the market's sensitivity. As the economic uncertainty looms, we turn to Greenland, where the U.S. is asserting its influence. The U.S. removed the commander of the Pittafik space base in Greenland following Vice President Vance's controversial visit, citing a loss of confidence in her leadership. The commander was reportedly critical of Vance's comments, which promoted greater U.S. control over Greenland. This removal underscores the U.S.'s continued interest in acquiring Greenland, with Trump vowing to pursue it by any means necessary. Vance argued for Greenland to be under U.S. security rather than Denmark's. The event highlights the administration's assertive foreign policy, which is further reflected in the escalating trade war with China. China retaliates against President Trump's tariffs by raising duties on U.S. goods to 125%, escalating the U.S.-China trade war. This move intensifies the conflict, weighing on investor sentiment despite Trump's 90-day pause on tariffs. Beijing hints at limiting further tariff hikes, even if Washington escalates. The White House clarifies that U.S. tariffs on Chinese imports are now at least 145%. Trump and his cabinet attempt to reassure investors amidst this economic turbulence, which leads us to the next story about the market's reaction. President Trump touts a market surge following a tariff pause, but the gains only provide temporary relief from significant economic damage. Despite the market's positive reaction, asset prices remain below previous levels, and the week's uncertainty cost U.S. stocks $6 trillion in value. Experts warn that recession risks persist, as Trump's plan is in a full retreat and leaves aggressive tariffs in place. The White House anticipates negotiating numerous trade deals in the next 3 months, a complex and potentially overwhelming task. This leads to the crucial question: what is Trump's strategy for the trade war, if any? The escalating U.S.-China trade war threatens severe damage to both nations and the global economy. Trump's strategy appears to be improvisational, using high tariffs as leverage, akin to the madman theory. While China may want to avoid economic disruption, the risks of Trump's tactics are significant. Experts warn of massive impacts on the U.S. and global economy. Trump's reliance on personal chemistry with Xi Jinping is unlikely to be effective, as China prefers formal, lower-level negotiations. The situation presents short-term logistical challenges despite potential intentions to de-escalate. And that concludes this segment of Drips News. That's all the news for today, but don't go anywhere. Drips News will be back tomorrow with more breaking stories and in-depth analysis. Stay informed, stay ahead, and remember to follow us online for the latest updates. Until then, keep those news feeds flowing.